Hey, my name is Brent here on Cloudy with the Chance of Meeples. Today, we're taking a look at the game that put Yahtzee out of business. Okay, maybe not, but we're taking a look at the dice rolling game from renowned designer Richard Garfield. Today, we will see who becomes the king of Tokyo. Cue the thunder. The radar overview for King of Tokyo looks something like this. Here we have it set up for 3 players. You got the Kraken against Gigazor against the King. Each player gets one of these boards. They set their stars to 0, and everybody starts with 10 hearts with the ability with certain cards to go up to 12. You got a Gigazor, like I said, and the King. Each player rolls these 6 dice. Whoever rolls the most claws will start. No one starts in Tokyo, and the game begins. Let's just say the King goes first. The King, on your turn, you can roll these 6 dice. I will say I played this game a handful of times, and some of my little things are rubbing off here like that. But that just happens. And so you roll, and then you can re-roll up to 2 times. So let's say it's the King's turn, and he rolls. Okay. So he's got a 1, a 2, a 3, a heart, another 1, and another 2. And let's just say he keeps these 2 2s. And I'll explain what these all mean at the end. He rolls again. Perfect. He got that. He got that. And like I said, you can roll and then re-roll up to 2 times. So a total of 3 rolls collectively. So this would be what his dice would look like at the end. And then he would resolve. Let's just say this, for example's sake, was that. Okay, so he would attack. Anytime you're attacking and you're on the outside, you're going to be attacking whoever's in Tokyo. And both Tokyo City and Tokyo Bay count as Tokyo. Tokyo Bay is opened up in a 5 and 6 player game, but 2 to 4, you would just use Tokyo City. So in this case, considering there's nobody in Tokyo because he started the game, he would then move into Tokyo. Okay, anytime you move into Tokyo, you gain 1 star. Anytime you start your turn in Tokyo, you gain another 2 stars. So we resolve this one. These. He would gain 2 energies. I will say this, these are upgraded energy tokens as well as this is the first edition of the game. I believe the Kraken's not in the second edition. Space Penguin is instead. So that would be resolving that. And then you would resolve these numbers. So anytime you have 3 of the same number, that's how many stars you get. So 3 2s equals, you got it, 2 stars. 3 1s equals 1 star, 3 3s, 3 stars, with every additional number being a star. So if this was the end, it would be 2 stars for that one, plus 1 for that one, for a total of 3. And then it will be the next player's turn. Before the next player's turn, the active player could then use their energy to buy these cards. Some of them have ongoing effects, some of them are one-time use. So let's say this card, you got the evacuation orders. It costs 7 energy, and it would come into effect right away. All monsters will lose 5 stars. This one's a little different. Eater of the Dead costs you 4 energy. It says keep, so you keep it for the whole game, and then you gain 3 stars every time a monster goes to 0 hearts. So anytime someone's eliminated, you're gaining stars. There's 2 ways to win this game, stars as well as being the last one alive. As soon as someone gets to 20 stars, they win, or if everybody's eliminated, the last player standing is the winner. So the King, he finished his turn. He's only got 2 energy. He's going to save them. He could also wipe these cards for the cost of 2 energy. So if you're seeing some really good cards that you can't afford, but another player can afford them, you could use 2 energy to eliminate those to give another option of 3 cards. So let's just say the King ended his turn, then it would be the Kraken's turn, and let's just say he rolls, and he's out to get the King. He's just going to keep that claw, another claw, and 4 claws. Well, at that point, the King, the character, that player would lose 4 claws 1 energy will go to the Kraken, and then it would be this player. They would have the decision if they're going to leave Tokyo. Okay, so if he would leave Tokyo, automatically the player attacking would then be having to go into Tokyo, and once again they would get 10, or they would get 1 start. You continue going around the table, like I said, until someone has 20 points or 20 stars, or everybody else is eliminated. I will also say this: anytime you're in Tokyo and you're rolling hearts, you cannot heal yourself with the dice, but you can roll. You can buy some of these cards to heal yourself while you're in Tokyo, and that pretty much is King of Tokyo. Onto the final forecast. So the final forecast for King of Tokyo, I'm going to say this right off the get-go. I think this is an instant classic. It's 10 years old now. I know this is the first edition. There's been a second edition. Last year they came out with King of Tokyo Dark, just to give it a darker theme. But this game is just so much fun. So many people know Yahtzee. You roll the dice, and then you can roll up to 2 more times, and you can stop after the first roll if you want. This game is all about dice rolling. I know there's those power-up cards, so you can buy those that let you gain extra stars if you roll certain numbers or this or that. But at its core, you roll dice, and you got to pick what you think is the best for that moment. If you're in Tokyo, it's that balance of how long do I stay in Tokyo, because if it comes back to my turn, I get those 2 stars, but I can't heal with those dice with rolling hearts. So there's a little bit of push your luck in that regard. There's a lot of luck. It's rolling dice. That's the skinny of it. So if rolling dice and luck aren't your thing, you may want to pass up on King of Tokyo. But for me, I can play this with my 4-year-old. If I play with my youngest, I don't do any of the power-up cards. I just have it that if you roll for every 2 energy, you can buy a star. So I have a little bit of a variant to play with my youngest. But my 7-year-old, he likes this game. He's learning, reading the cards and this and that, and I help him read the cards and tell him what they mean. They're not too complicated. I know there's a glossary on the back of the rule book explaining some of the cards, but super accessible game. Everybody knows Yahtzee, and this is just one step up from Yahtzee. Of course, not theme wise, because Yahtzee you're not trying to become the king of Yahtzee, but you know what I mean. Super accessible. I've played this, like I said, with my 4-year-old, with my game group, and every time, such a good time. I know for my game group, we're all about destroying everybody and not even going for stars. And we just sit around the table and we just start cheering and going absolutely bananas when someone's rolling like 5 or 6 claws, and just no, it's just fantastic. So I will say, with player elimination, be mindful of that. If you're playing with younger kids and they get eliminated right away, they can have a disappointing time that they are out of the game or they can't play or whatever what have you. So take that in consideration. But it's such a light game. It's such a quick game. Turns just keep going around the table like one after another. It's really quick. So I think King of Tokyo is an instant classic. I absolutely love this game. From the first time I ever played it, I fell in love with King of Tokyo, and I've played it with tons and tons of people. I've taught it to tons of people. I've hosted little tournaments with 2 games going and the winners facing off for the ultimate King of Tokyo. So all in all, King of Tokyo, fantastic game. If you're in the mood for light, fun, it's not a party game, but it plays to 6 players. If you're looking for a fun game in which you're rolling dice, just cheering when you're getting those claws to boot the one person out of Tokyo or to eliminate someone, what have you. Just all around great game. Looking at it on the scale, the probability of Meeples, this one's pretty high. This is like a 90% chance of Meeples. Yes, it's not the most strategic game. Yes, there's a ton of push your luck. Yes, there's a ton of luck in general. But overall, the experiences I've had playing King of Tokyo and that I can play with so many different people, 90% Chance of Meeples. Find us on Facebook, Cloudy with a Chance of Meeples. Until next time, my name is Brent. And then just remember, grab your umbrellas. The forecast is cloudy with a chance of meeples.